my project on the Argentine ant. So the Argentine ant lives in the floodplains of South America. Dozens of ant species have lived there, including the fire ants, the army ants, and of course the Argentine ants. The Argentine ant was actually fairly small compared to its competitors, which is only 2 to 3 millimeters long. Surprisingly, how it survives because of how little it actually had to fend off in certain wars. It was fairly small, the colonies were fairly small to somewhat large, and the most effective weapon was bodies. They had a massive reproduction scale because in their colonies they would actually have multiple queens, having 120 ants per queen. So, and each queen would be laying up to 60 eggs a day. So each colony would have millions to billions of these individuals. So their their system had a downside though, and since there were many queens, there is a really high chance of genetic mutations between these species. And so it would start creating these like tiny subspecies which they were called like distant cousins, even though they were like Argentine ants. And so each new species have gotten used to a different environment. And so now they would actually start to wage war against each other even though they're the same ant. So after this, the Argentine ant became very aggressive. So of course humans did what humans do, and they actually have brought some Argentine ants back to home in New Orleans. And so here, what happened was that when they brought it from South America to the New Orleans, and so what happened was that when it landed there, they they in the new habitat they started killing 90% of their own queens, and also they had no predators, and they didn't have any competition to fight against them. And since no one can fight them effectively, they basically changed up the strategy and whatnot, and so they started killing 90% of all their queens. And so since there was less queens, there was actually less genetic variations. So basically, each of these like other colonies that they were making, they actually agreed with each other and started making these super massive colonies. And so super colonies have actually taken over six colonies in our Mediterranean zones. And after time progressed, one mega colony was established, which was spreading from Europe to California to Japan. And so it's a major problem because, for example, in California, the Argentine ants, in their like long conquest for the for their land and taking like more land and getting more resources to basically inevitably like become a larger species. The Argentine ant in California has actually replaced 90% of all native ant species.